Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome back with me Nadia Ramadhani from 5BA class. In today's presentation, I'm going to explain you about data analysis. So before going further, let us know first what is data analysis. Data analysis is the whole process of systematically applying statistical methods or logical techniques to describe and also illustrate, condense and recap and also evaluate the data in doing a research. Well, in this great opportunity, I'm going to be more focused on explaining about quantitative and qualitative data that we are going to use in our research. Okay, so the first one is quantitative data. What is quantitative data? Is the value of data in the form of counts or numbers where each data has set which already the data set has already a unique numerical value associated with it. So quantitative data is used to answer questions such as how many, how much, how many times, for example, like that. So in doing a research, we often use quantitative data in doing like questionnaires in forms of number. For example, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 representing our represents our thoughts. Okay, so there are some steps in conducting quantitative data analysis. The first one, relating measurement scales with the variable. So the step is actually the way for us to relate our measurement of the numbers with the variables that we have already set in our research. This step is really important to arrange the data in a proper order. The data can be entered into an Excel sheet to organize it in a specific format. For example, we have already made a questionnaires and also we already get the answers. We just relate the measurement scales or the answers with the variables that we have already made in at first. It can be in a Excel format or something like that. The second step is to connect descriptive statistics with the data. In this steps means that we connect the descriptive statistics or the statistics that we have already set with the data that we get. Some widely used descriptive statistics, for example, like mean, median, mode, frequency, minimum and maximum, and also percentages. This way is to represent the data with a more specific and also easier ways to be read. Like we have already learned in mathematics subject, for example, like we use mean in order for us to know the average values for a specific variables, and also median or midpoint of the value scale for a variables. Mode, for example, for a variable, the most common value. All this way is to describe the statistics itself. The third step is to decide a measurement scale. In this step means that we conclude a descriptive statistic for the variable. We just after we have met the descriptive statistic, we conclude them and also we decide the measurement scales that we want to be applied in our research. The fourth step, to select appropriate tables to represent the data and also analyzing the collected data. The researchers can use tabulator format to represent the data. In this step, we change our data into a more representative ways, for example, like graphic, holograms, or percentage tables, for example, like another stuff. In this ways, is going to make us easier to analyze the collected data because it's in a form of in a simplest way, in a simplest forms itself. Going to the examples of quantitative data. For example, in our data at the end of our analysis, we conclude that there is 54% people prefer shopping online instead of going to the mall. It means that we have already make it as a conclusion, right? Okay, going to the next kind of data, that is qualitative data. This type of data is non-numerical in nature. Means that it's not in a form of numerical. And also, this data is collected through methods of observations, interviews, focus group, and also and another similar methods. This method is really important in understanding the particular thoughts of our respondents because sometimes we do not need such exact numbers for our analysis, but we need their thoughts, their detailed thoughts, for example. Okay, there are also some steps in analyzing qualitative data. The first one, arranging our data. Arranging data means that we convert all the data into a text format. We can either export data into a spreadsheet or manually type them in a computer assisted qualitative data analysis tools. There are some internet-based qualitative data analysis tools they already provide right now. Okay, the second step is similar, means that we organize all the data. After we collect all the data, one of the best way to organize is going back to the research objectives and also organizing the data that we already get based on the questions that we asked or we made at the very first place. Arrange the research objective in a table, so it's going to appear visually clear. It's going to be easier to read it out. At all costs, avoid temptations of working unorganized. It's going to only time consuming. It's not wise at all. Okay, the next step is to set a code to the data collected. The coding is the way of qualitative data that we are going to categorize and also assign the properties and also patterns to the collected data. This step is actually really important in order for us to derive theories from relevant researchers' findings. After assigning codes to all the data, we're going to begin to build on the patterns to gain in-depth insights. Meaning that in this step, we are going to help make the informed decisions. For example, like this table, it provides a data which already collected, which already coded by the subtopics, for example, like customer satisfaction, customer servicing, data processing, and also and so on and so on. So at the right side, it's all about the categorize, right? It's all about the categorize and also assign data itself. It's simpler to be read and also to be analyzed by ourselves. The next steps is to validate the data. It is really important because the data is quintessential for research. It represents your research at all. So it is imperative to ensure that the data is not flawed at all. And there are two things that we need to take care. The first one is accuracy of your research design or methods. We make sure that the methods we use is already credible enough. And also, second of all, is reliability, which is extent to which the methods produce accurate data. And also, okay, the last step is to conclude the analysis process. Means we systematically present the data, the report that going to be readily used by ourselves or the reader at the end of the day. So the report should state the methods that we use to conduct the research and also the positive and negative study limitations and another. In the report, we also state the suggestions or inference of the findings and also any related area of for the future research itself. So I think that's all for today's presentations. Thank you very much for watching and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.